Okay. Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, I think you should fully record
Okay,
it,
I've got it. I've got it going.
Christy.
Anyways, good morning. The
Good morning. Hi.
the thing that I guess has frustrated me so much is I poured so many into that leg, and like strategically, like I have just kind of filled holes and those girls really weren't like taken up under a wing. And like, even though I've talked with them and chatted with them and that kind of thing, they just weren't like scooped up and really taken care of. And they really just never did anything. And so I don't know. I really like this month. Well, after conference, I said, because my team is just my heart, and so it's almost like I do anything and everything for them, and like overly to the point where I was not working my own personal business. And so after conference, I just said, I've got to pick up and do my own thing, my own business, and not the majority of what I do be all for them, And so I started doing the Battle of the Hostess. Did that twice this month. It was amazing. My sales went from like hardly nothing to above 2,000. And I've always been a decent recruiter. I'm not somebody that recruits 10 people a month, but I recruit at least 2 a month. Sometimes more, but then with those little recruits that I get, it's like I'm still holes on these legs that they're just not doing anything, and I want to help them, but it's not going anywhere, And so I don't know. I just decided this month, like, I've got a girl that's really working hard. She's a team leader. And I'm like, I'm starting with her. Like, she's really trying. Like, I'm going to get her built, hopefully, to director this month. If I maintain executive and not senior executive, then that's just is what it is. Maybe the next 2 months she'll be at senior director, but maybe they'll have the momentum to keep pushing through, I don't know. Are y'all dealing with the same kind of thing?
Preach, sister. Definitely. I just had a long conversation with Essie about it yesterday, and she explained that it's her fourth leg too. For me, it's more just the fourth, fifth, and the subsequent legs. I have 3 really strong legs, and so we came up with a good game plan because she basically told me that she spends probably 80% of her time. She pole runs that leg, and that's like her baby. So I'm like, okay, you tell me what to do, and I'm willing to try whatever it takes because I've built up probably 80% of that leg, and it's like, oh my gosh, if I could just get the other 20% to do something, that would be fantastic. But I get your frustration, and we also talked about going wider. So I'm focusing on that fourth leg to start looking at, building up more of my fifth and sixth legs. So kind of in the same boat. I hear you. But it takes a lot of time.
It does. And I think the other thing is on my big leg, I have, let's see, it's me, and then I have a senior executive and another senior executive and another senior executive, and then like a couple executives. Like, it's a really big team. Kimberly can vouch for that. So like, if I don't, like this past month, I maintained executive because the senior director leg just wasn't. I lost like $8,000, like left that on the table, and I'm like, a lot of money, And I think that's what too, like trying to build wide to combat the deepness on this side, but I don't know. Anyways. I know I'll share with y'all what I'm doing this month, and hopefully it will help. But so my big team page, like I've got several executives in there, and we kind of all senior directors and above talked about, because the leaders that I have in that page they're really great. Like the ones that have hit executive and above, they do their own thing anyways. They have their own team pages. They're very strong leaders. And so they have gone into my team page and removed. They've stayed in just in case I post something that they want to share or whatnot. But they did remove like their team. And I hope that will help me focus more on the ones that need focus on, because right now, the ones that I feel like need to focus on, like the other ones they overpower. And, you know, I don't know if that's the right move. I really don't, but I'm just like up for anything to try. You know,
I think that's a good idea, Christy, because if you do incentives and things like that, then who takes advantage? The people who are already working and running.
That's right. And so last month, of course, we did our opportunity event. We really pushed it. And I think we signed up like 46 people outside of the big leg, which I was like, this is amazing. Usually it's like 20 something. So I was very proud. But one of the things I'm going to do, and I said, I may be, like, I hope they make me pay them out a lot of money. But I said, if anybody signed up in September or all the way through October and hit senior stylist in October, I'll give you $25. Not that big of a deal, but it may be enough to help them really push to get going in the beginning, you know. So, I mean, we'll see. Even if it's just a handful, like, it's, to me, a good enough thing to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, money talks. So we'll see if that helps. But I am doing, I talked yesterday to Haley Grimmer because she was the one that I got the Battle of the Hostess idea from. And so I don't know the logistics of this. Maybe y'all can like help me with this if y'all have ever done one of those. But I'm going to do a mega battle with my team. So it's going to be all in one group. It's going to be a Battle of the Hostess, but it's going to be for a team-wide thing. So like, and then the winners, we'll do some pretty good prizes, but the winners will be the top hostess, you know, that has the most sales. So I just feel like so many of my, they're scared to host a party because they're scared maybe they're not going to know exactly what to do, or they're going to mess it up, or they're not good with technology and Facebook and, you know, and so I'm like, well, if we can come together, like all of their responsibility is just gathering their hostess, you know, I'll give them the information to like put them in a messenger and what to send to them and what to, you know, and so, I don't know. We'll see if that works. I'll have to report back to y'all and let y'all know if it was a crazy mess or
Hey, Christy, have you, I'm sure you have. So Megan and her group did like an amazing training, the band parties. Like how did your team partake in that? Because my team loved it. They were like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
I've had several that have gone in there. I have not gone back through. I've got to take time to go back through and watch all the videos. Me and Megan were talking about that the other day. But I love how it's just more personal and more about, I don't know, like it's more relational, I guess. It's not so much nails, you know? So
what kind of party did you call it?
It's the reverse mullet. We said the reverse mullet party method, where we're party in the front and business in the back. We party and get to know everybody and like engage and have fun. They were like, okay, now let's get down to business. Let's shop. Now that we know each other and we're all friends, show me the credit cards.
Is that online or in person?
Thanks, Alex. And look at that sweet little Bambino.
I know.
She doesn't sleep. Hey, Anita, they had it on Facebook and then they have a whole website now, which is really awesome. Christy, and I got to hop off here in a few minutes to go take my oldest to the doctor. With your incentives, I've done that before, but what's a little bit more effective, I found, is to tie it to whoever the sponsor, the enroller was, and the new person. So they have a responsibility that they've already signed up for to say, yes, I'm going to be a leader to this person that I just enrolled, you know, and make sure that they have the things and are successful and know where to find the things. Because that's the other thing that I saw was like, I had all these new people, but they had no clue where to go. Whoever signed them up went MIA or fell off completely. So putting some skin in the game. So we did something, it's been a while, but we tied the monthly incentive to both of them. Like it had to be and your new person.
I like that, Alex, because the incentive, like I try to kind of, just to keep things simple, I try to kind of do my incentives or piggyback on what corporate's doing. So since we have this, like our focus for my team is enrolling. But the enrolling promotion is really for the person who's coming on. They get the extra sets, they get the water bottle. There's not really much of an incentive for the person besides team building and making more money. I mean, we know that, but you know what I'm saying? The person who enrolled, there's not much of incentive. So when I incentivize or when I encourage it, I'm going to have them BQ and their new person. If they enroll and sponsor a new person, their BQ and the new person is BQ, they'll be entered for a drawing. So that's what I'm doing this month as far as that goes. And I'm challenging every single person on my team to bring in one, just to sponsor one, because it seems very doable even for a brand new stylist to sponsor one person. And if everybody did that, like your team would double, first of all. And then for my leaders, I'm challenging each of them to sponsor 3 because they could do it. And that gives them a senior stylist. So I'm like, guys, think about it. If you have 3 that you can place at the end of this month, where would you put a senior stylist together to give yourself a team leader that you need? So there's a lot of power in that 3. So 3 for the leaders, everyone else is 1. That's the challenge. And then to piggyback on your mega party, I tried to do a battle of the hostesses this month for a battle for the tatas for breast cancer awareness. I only got 2 hostesses that wanted to battle, like for my own personal people, but they're both joining. So it turned into, instead of a battle of the hostess, it turned into like a launch party battle. And so now it's like a battle of the new stylist. And anyway, they picked someone they wanted to nominate for, in honor of or whatever. And so I basically followed the BAM party plan for the mega party, where I got to know each hostess. And then I had each hostess share the story of the warrior woman that they're breast cancer survivor or that didn't survive, or, and then they kind of featured her. And so then we started, talking a little bit in the party about that. And then one joined, the other one I think is going to join. So I think that party method works even in a mega party. The only thing that I would think would not work would be the booking game. So I would just kind of maybe nix that, because that would be hard to manage with multiple stylists or multiple hostesses. In a mega party setting.
So I thought the same thing off of my mega party last month. I had 2 that signed up and like 1 more that's interested, but she's with another company, and I'm just kind of like letting her feel things out. Like I don't want to be too pushy or whatever. But anyways, she the thing that I thought was awesome was, how sometimes when you have like single parties, some are really great and then some are just awful. And so I'm always scared, and this is but for somebody who I think is going to be amazing at the business, I'm always scared for them to have like a flop party in the beginning, and then they're like, I'm not signing up, And so, because they think that just because their party was not good, that they're not going to be successful at the business, But what I found with the battle of the hostess is, not only is it pushing them to like compete with somebody else, but they're able to see the other hostess that are being successful, and so it's giving them like a little bit more of, to me, maybe confidence, like maybe I can do this, So all these little babies are making me have baby fever.
Making your ovaries hurt. I know Kimberly's are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's making me feel so old and unaccomplished. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys are so young, and look what you've done.
Look at her. Kimberly, it's about time, don't you think? Jeez. She's muted.
You're on mute.
I'm talking on mute. But yeah, literally, like, I'm always like still with the baby while getting pregnant. So I think in 6 months is like the best age, and he's so cute. I'm like, I can't not have one of these around.
The 6 month, I want to just like freeze 6 months. Like, oh, it's so perfect.
I know.
Anyway, Christy, so I totally hear. Okay, so I had some girls too that I was trying to recruit. So I'm like, well, let's just have a party, because they're like, well, let's just have a party and I'll host and see how it goes. And then if the party goes well, then maybe I'll join if I'm going to make enough money, you know, for the kid or whatever. And I try to like encourage them, because they feel so discouraged, because they're like, well, my party sucked, so I can't do this. And I try to encourage them, like, my friends and family are not my best customers. Like, you just have to know that. And the people who have been in for a year or two can attest that your friends and family are not your best customers. So that's not how that does not speak to the success that your business will have, you know, and it takes time.
I 100% agree.
So I'm going to circle back to those girls, because I had a couple that were like, my party sucked.
But see, for me, it's easier to get them signed up and they get their launch party. Like, I think that confidence is, I don't know, it's easier for me to sign them up prior, because I have the same fears too. It's like, oh my gosh, like, what did she tell you? And she's thinking that too. So if I flip the switch and it's like, oh my gosh, it could be a total game changer for you. You know, if you use this as your launch party and you're able not only to get the commissions, you're getting the hostess rewards, which is the polish that you want, but you can utilize this to, you know, change things, you know, for your family. So let's talk about that. So that's easier for me to do than for me to encourage them to have an amazing nail bar.
Last week, I had, at the beginning of September, one of my girls that battled, she wanted to do a home party too, but I had the battle coming up, and I'm like, let's just do you an online party, but I'll still come and do a home party. And so she did the battle, and then the Thursday before her home party, she said, you know, I really kind of want to do this. Like, I think I could do this. And I'm like, you could totally do this. Like, you've sold $500 in your, you know, nail bar or whatever. So she signed up. I went and still did the home party, but we just did it as a launch party. And she has signed up 4 people, like, to join her, which is crazy. So, and this is like somebody that has literally watched me from the very beginning, almost 2 years ago. But like somebody that wore, she's a little bit, she's always worn acrylic or gel for like 30 years. And now she's like, I'm literally like, I don't know why I didn't try this a year and a half ago, you know? So, so it just goes to show you that doing those parties, and especially the home thing, you can, you know, it's so much. But
does anybody have like a killer opportunity group? Oh my love. Does anybody have an opportunity group that they're doing anything special in, you know, for this month? Because my opportunity group, I had a leader on my team like offer to do it, because I was like, I would love to do it, but I can't man it, because I know it has to have constant interaction. It's really kind of died. But I was talking to Brittany Metke, and she had some really good ideas in her opportunity group. They do shout outs, recognition, welcome new stylists, all of that she doesn't do in her team page. She does in the opportunity group. And I'm like, how easy is that? Because that's the stuff that you're posting anyway. And that's the stuff that people are going to see and get that FOMO going. So I really like that idea. But I was wondering, do you use your opportunity group for then onboarding? Do you have units in there? Like, once someone joins, do they go in and you know, take a first few steps into joining? Like, what does that look like for you guys who have opportunity groups?
Well, we kind of piggybacked off of what you do, Megan. So like, one of the things after conference, I put a survey out there, and basically anyone that was team leader or above, we started having the discussion, because I'm like, okay, we're all reposting the same things, you know, let's collaborate more and make it one group. I don't even care. It's not my group. It is our group. You know, we can change the name. We can do whatever. You know, it's not mine versus yours, you know, but let's figure out how to make this easier. You know, if you love online nail bars, that is your MO. If you love, you know, new stylist training. So one of the things that we did is everyone filled out the survey of what they enjoyed about the business, what really lit their fire. Because some people, they love the bookkeeping part, and other people love nail bars, but they don't like the other. So it's like you take that. So literally we have somebody that focuses on, okay, if there's home office calls, you get to take the notes and post those. Like she's the secretary, or there's 4 of them, so they rotate every week. You know, you're in charge of incentives for whatever launch happens. But with the new stylist training, because that was clogging up our feet, we still have probably about 20 different opportunity groups. So we're trying to meld those into one just to have more of an effect. But the new stylist, it's the pin post. So it's got all the great information from all of our compliance team, because, you know, in terms of supplies and whatnot, because what we found were new stylists were getting overwhelmed, because it's like, oh my gosh, I just got added to 20 different groups. You know, I'm not sure which one to listen to. So it's like literally step 1, you know, go here. And my teachers, they love that. they man that baby. So they welcome all the new people, you know, and they just, you know, they help them continue on and move forward. But yeah, you inspired that, Megan.
So how we do things. So I basically I do everything with Kelly for the most part. So, you know, Kelly, we have our Nailionaires, and then my team Breakaway, and then Kim is also a presidential on Kelly. So she has her G3 page. I have my Team Believe page, but we do the core of our training on the Nailionaire page. And we have an opportunity, we have thinking about becoming a stylist. And I feel like that group is not strong. No one really takes care of it, except for Kelly will post stuff in there. So she's kind of alone on that. And then we have a group for my first 30 days as a Nailionaire. And so we'll put people there. But again, it's more so just to go find the pin post, find the steps. It's not, they'll go in and maybe ask questions, but it's not a huge working group, as in my opinion, it's not, but it's where it's a resource for them. And then we have, and this is kind of where Alex kind of touches on what Alex is doing. So, you know, Kelly, our logo or whatever is an elephant. So we have the Trunk Tank, is a group of stylists who want to come together to make our Nailionaire team as a whole better. Your rank doesn't matter. It's you, if you want to come in and help people grow. And so we just actually are implementing advisory committees within the Trunk Tank. So yeah, so then that way, like I'm going to take over my first 30 days or the new stylist training page. And then, you know, so we can kind of, instead of focusing trying to contribute everywhere, we're going to contribute in certain areas. And Alex, I think that's kind of like what you said. It looks a little bit different. And then another thing with our pages, so I have my Team Believe, and I have that team group for my whole organization. And then Kelly has her Nailionaires, and she broke out and made a Stampede group, which is just for her non-exec legs. And that's what I do. I have a tribe group. So I can't remember who said that they had people leave their group. So instead, I just opened up a second group. And in my tribe group is where I'll do special incentives for my non-executive legs. And so that's kind of how our whole structure looks.
Yeah. So I know.
Yeah, so we have Elevate group. So the Elevate group is for the non-exec legs that everyone who wants to qualify. So that's where like the second level training and the bigger incentives are, if that makes sense.
So we have within my downline, most of the ones, and I think the reason, so I went in and removed, because most of them don't come to my team page anyways, like, or anything. Like they just kind of are those type of leaders that hook and went, you know, which is great. And so that's why I said, like, I just want to eliminate some of their team out of there because they're not coming anyways. It's just extra people in there. But we have, so Alex, we took off of Elevate and we did an Exalt page. And so that is for everybody within the organization, whoever, I don't really care. And I'll just go through and like pick 2 different leaders to like Megan. I think Megan's trained in there before for me. Kimberly's gone in there before. And that to me is their incentive. Like you have to BQ to get in that group, but there's special training in there and it's just 2 times a week. And so at the end of the month, we do a kick out. So everybody has to be kicked out of the group. But this month I did a leave in and I just told them, this is a special month. I know that a lot of y'all may have gotten in here on the last day of the month. Like, I want you to be able to go back through and like do the, listen to all the trainings. And I know you can't do that all in one day. So like, happy October, you get to stay in the group, all month. And so, hang on, sorry, y'all. Anyways, and so that's one thing that I feel like has helped because I wanted something. I'm a big unity person. And like one of the things I guess that has bothered me so much is like some of the leaders that I have, it's not that they're not unified, but they want to do their own thing. Like they don't want to help collaborate as a whole. And like that just bothers me just because that's just not in me. Like I'm a big help everybody, And so I just wanted something for everybody that I could offer for everybody. So I absolutely love the Elevate idea. Like that has helped me with that. But then on our opportunity group, we just usually do a Sunday night and we'll just, whoever, it can be anybody, whoever wants to share, can share. And, it's literally like 10-minute segments, but we'll just have the topic. So, there will be a welcome and then somebody will explain like, maybe why they started and then what we do and, just kind of like that on a Sunday night. And then occasionally I'll do an incentive. Like if you join and BQ by the end of this month, then I'll send you a free set of nails or something. But that to me has been good. But I love the idea about, so this past month I did do a graphic and like every time people joined, I would add them and tell them like welcome them within the opportunity page. But I love that idea about keeping those welcome posts in there because it's letting everybody else in that group see, So I liked that. That was a good idea.
So then your entire team, for the most part, then are they all in that thinking about joining page?
My team outside of my executive legs. So just my smaller teams are in that opportunity group because my other executive legs, they have their own opportunity groups, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
And I'm not in their group, so I don't know what they do or how it's set up. But I feel like we kind of do a little bit of the same things here. But
so my question is, so like with your Exalt group, because like, so remember last month you were like, well, the girls that need to hear this, they're not even in there yet because they haven't BQ'd. So like, how are you feeling now that you've done it for a little bit? I've been meaning to ask you like with that scenario because I feel like that's where you don't feel like it helps.
I don't feel like it's going to push anybody that in my opinion, if somebody wants to work the business, they're going to work it. And if they don't want to work it, they're not going to work it. You see what I'm saying? So like, ones that are like maybe really working extremely hard and they're sitting at like 250 and they just can't get those extra orders or whatever. I feel like they'll push hard maybe if there's a big training or something in there. But I don't know. I still like it just for the unity of it, thing is like just for the team. I don't know, like on Facebook.
I smell your coffee. Mom, I smell your coffee.
She's so cute. Do y'all have like certain strategies about like if you sign up 3 people a month, do you automatically make a senior stylist out of one of those and then place?
I don't.
I know.
I don't do the placement suite and to build people under there. I put them like where I need them. Like I'm kind of in that. I'm still placing to struggle to stay alive.
Yeah, same here.
I'm not placing for future growth. I'm placing to stay alive.
Yeah. Same here.
That's
Okay,
not
so
true. Because I equally stayed alive last month. That's totally not true. But for the most part, you know, it's like I'm not even. But I'm like, for you guys, you know, both of my senior directors have not hit senior director in a long time. So I just hit exec every month, and so I one leg I have to rebuild, or that. She's my senior director is 1 foot out the door, so she's just not leaving yet because of me, and so I've got to get her director to a solid director and senior director,
Yeah.
because I feel like they're those ones that have been in from the beginning and they're not growing like they were. They're burning out.
Mhm.
And that senior director jump is ridiculous. We all know that. It's a ridiculous volume and it's stupid. It's not worth it. Just like for me right now, hitting senior executive director, there's no value in it for me. So, you know, I'm not that I'm not trying to get there. I need to get there and I want to get there, but that I'm not there. You know, it's not affecting my pay because I don't have, you know, the executive that we had on my leg. Like I was 2 generations, but I'm not anymore.
Gotcha. Yeah, it almost has gotten like, I have a question too, in our time maybe, because I don't have the paid one. Let me ask y'all this real quick. Do any of y'all have like legs that are way built down? Like for instance, I'm gonna draw this out. So maybe y'all can see and understand. So that's me.
Way down below.
Can you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
This is me.
You only have 3.5 minutes left of the Zoom.
Okay. I have a senior executive, this is an executive, another senior executive, and she's got a senior executive who's got 2 executives. So, for instance, this is my E1, my E2, and my E3 here. So this girl right here is fixing to have another executive, which, okay, this girl right here is a senior executive. She's got another executive. So like this past month with me not maintaining senior executive, I got paid on $30,000 off of a leg that had about $700,000 in it, which was heartbreaking. But then this leg down here, my third, she's fixing to have another executive right here, and she's got another leg that's close to executive. So say I do, when I hit national, I will never get paid on any of this. Like it will subtract all that volume from her if she's got executives all the way across the top, and I'll get paid a 0% off of that E3 leg, right?
I don't have the answer to that.
If it's just a G3, you'll get paid G3 at national.
Yeah, but what if she's got all these executives across? It subtracts all that
Stop
volume.
talking, please. Sorry, say that again.
If it's a G3 that has executives across her top line, then it subtracts all that volume.
Oh, if she's a G3, yeah.
So my problem
Yep,
is the comp plan is like, you start having these legs that have these executives, and then you're like losing it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I guess
So you won't get her, how does that work?
I'll just get her volume outside of her executive legs.
I think so, yeah. Because hers will all pull out of,
Yeah. I've been trying to think about it because I'm like, oh. But so technically, if you have a third level that is booming across, then you may only get paid on the first 2.
Yeah.
Well, this helped, y'all. I just needed some, like, you know, ideas, chit chat. We're all in this together,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good ideas.
I think so too. I'm gonna put some of this into action. Well, this is fixing to end, but I appreciate everybody coming on. Maybe we should do this again.
Absolutely. I'm game.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thanks, you guys.